Okay, I had to escape this year's PAX Prime to record a brand new video. Unfortunately, I'm at a park bench in the middle of nowhere, and the only thing I have to work with is this awful camera. But I'm not gonna let that affect me, because I want to tell you about some of the best swag I picked up at the Penny Arcade Expo. Not this Penny Arcade Expo, I'm talking about old Penny Arcade Expos. We're going old school, like 2007, 2008. We're gonna start things off with Death Jr., which wasn't a very good PSP game, but I do kinda love this coffin design. There's just one problem. I have no idea what was inside of it. I know that seems weird, but you see, I picked this up at a table at PAX, whatever year it was, and there was nothing inside, but I loved the coffin design so much that I stuck with it. I talked to one of the main guys at the company a couple of years later, and he agreed that it was a great piece of swag, and he said he was going to send me whatever it was that was inside of it, but he never did. So, anyway, we're going to move on here. Next up are these little Death Jr. games that comes in an assortment of colors. As you can see, I have a bunch of them. It's hard to tell with this camera, but there's a little teeny marble in there, and you're supposed to rotate it around and get it from start to finish. You know what? It's a time waster. All right. Next up is OnLive, which is kind of a weird piece of swag, but it needs to be included nonetheless. OnLive gave out these little micro consoles at PAX a few years ago for free. Just anybody that was willing to stand in line got one of these for free. Of course, now it's just a paperweight because the service no longer exists, but hey, at least I have this. It's a little dusty. Oh well. OnLive, I wish I had more to say about you. Or wish I had something to do with you. Anyway. Maybe we should just move on. Wapow! Alright, I think this is how you're supposed to wear this thing. It's a Rockstar sweatband or wristband or something. Or maybe it's supposed to go around my head and my head's just really big. I don't know. Let's move on. Oh, boy, you can barely see that. Alright, let's focus here. This is a PlayStation hacky sack. I have these in a bunch of colors, but I brought the pink one. I don't know why. Alright, let's go ahead and move these out of the way, because we gotta talk about Bully. This is a Bully notebook. God, this is one of my favorite pieces of swag. It just makes so much sense to the game. I have a couple of these. But that's not the only thing I have from Bully. Look at this! It's a Bully dodgeball. This is, of course, not inflated. I also have one that's inflated, but I didn't bring that because I don't have that much space. Anyway, you would just pump this up and throw it at somebody, and it would be just like Bully. It'd be great. Bully's so much fun. Man, they gotta make another one of those. Alright, let's move on. Up next, we have the Duke Nukem section. This is probably the only good that came from Duke Nukem Forever. I stood in line and did the whole tour when Duke Nukem Forever was reintroduced at PAX a few years ago. I picked up this thing of steroids or mints. You can barely see it there, but as you can see, I didn't open it. I have no use for breath mints or fake steroids for that matter. So that's just something that sits on the shelf. And of course, here's a belt buckle, the Duke Nukem belt buckle. It's pretty hefty, feels good. I don't wear belt buckles ever. I don't actually think I ever have worn a belt buckle, at least not on purpose. So that just sits on the shelf as well. But that's pretty cool. Way better than Duke Nukem Forever. Next up, we have the Dance Central towel. Man, I watched John Drake dance so long demoing this game that I swore I needed this towel. Ugh. Yeah, this isn't my harmonics game of choice, but whatever. Alright, what do we have here? It's the Death Star! Okay, here's what let's get it in focus here, and we gotta push this button right here, and here's the sound it makes. Pretty cool, huh? Alright, that's for Empire at War. Here we have the typical PAX bag, which has a whole bunch of advertisements and demos and crap in it. Let's dump it out here and see what we got. There's still some more stuff in there. There we go. Alright, right off the bat, you can see, what is that? Oh, it's XNA. There's a comic book about Stan Lee. And there's the PAX guide. Beautiful illustrations. It wouldn't be PAX without America's Army. And, of course, a World of Warcraft demo. That's fun. Alright. Just some other stuff. Nothing too interesting. Okay, I moved all that stuff away to make room for the t-shirts, including LA Noire. Let's get that in frame here. Yeah, LA Noire, that was 1 year. And there's Delta Force, Black Hawk Down, or maybe that's Black Hawk Down, Delta Force. I don't know. I have like 10 of those shirts. I don't know why. I gotta believe it's Parappa the Rapper. Funny story, I actually won this at PAX. The guy was just giving them away, and he says he was asking trivia questions, but before he even got a chance to ask a trivia question, I blurted out some lyric. I think I said, because you forgot to close the door, or something like that, and he immediately threw it at me, and I won it. So there you go, folks. That's good things come to those who have memorized Parappa the Rapper lyrics. Okay, what else do we have? Oh yes, it's Rock Band 3, and you can tell it's Rock Band 3 because it has the keys. Let's straighten that out there. This just kind of sits in my closet, like all of the t-shirts I have. And I have hundreds of t-shirts, and not just from PAX, but from E3 and other things like that. I should sell those one of these days, or give them out as prizes. In fact, at the end of this video, I'm going to talk a little bit about my plans for giving out PAX prizes, so stay tuned for that. Wrapping up the t-shirt section is Tony Hawk's Proving Ground. What was that, 3, 4 Tony Hawks ago? I don't know. Who cares? While I put everything back sort of how it was, I want to talk a little bit about my contest plans. Come this holiday, I plan on giving away a bunch of stuff through a series of contests. You've already seen some of my contests for downloadable games, but I want to give away some physical stuff, some rare swag that I picked up at PAX, E3, CES, and other conventions. Some of it's like 15 years old. It'll be part of a big push for the channel in the final months of 2015. Does that sound like something you'd be interested in? Let me know in the comments below. Tune in tomorrow for a brand new episode of Online Pass, the weekly video game news quiz. This will be our 6th episode, I believe, so if you haven't been keeping up, then I recommend you go ahead and check out the past episodes. There's a link to last week's episode on this very screen, so you really have no excuse not to click it. We also reviewed a bunch of games, including Grandia 2 Anniversary Edition, Calvino Noir, and Shoot Shimi. Next week is going to be just as crazy, with reviews of both Stasis and Rememoried. So do me a favor and hit the subscribe button and support what we're doing here. Until then,